from the depths of the swamp. Look who's back. We couldn't we could not stay away from ever. I mean, come on, man. Did you really think that we were going to be gone for so long? I got a little butt hurt because we weren't having any listeners and stuff like that. And I was boo-hoo-hoo. But you know what? Mainly we don't have a guest tonight. So that's why the Weathered Soul podcast is back. But here we are, aka the Weathered Soul, right here and right over there, right over there, over there. Yeah, that's DJ Dougie over there. How you doing, DJ Dougie?
All right, how are you, man?
It's been a while, man. It's been a couple of weeks since we did the Michael Gayton podcast, which I'm saving in the library to send out when we don't do a podcast, and I'll just run that one into the audio. That's the good thing about having guests is that you can all that stuff and you can bleed that out on the audio if we happen to miss a week or so. But we're back on the Weathered Soul podcast. We just want to welcome you guys back to the fray. You can see that we have our nice little header there that says Weathered Soul podcast. I mean, those two good looking guys up there when we were in Hawaii having a good time. The Monday Night Live show, we're just doing good, man. It's been a great I mean, things are looking good, man. I really think things are looking good. I'm optimist about the happenings right now that's going on in the United States, in the state, in the city, in my household. Everything is kind of cool and groovy right now. So I mean, spring's upon us.
Yeah.
Been working out in the backyard, man, and getting my stuff ready. Getting the house all ready for my mom to move back in for a while because she's going to be sharing a room with us between me and my three siblings for a while. So there's a lot of things that are happening in the old Weathered Soul household. Man, how you doing, Dougie? What's up with you guys, man? How you doing?
Good. Everything's going pretty well.
Yeah. Well, anything exciting to talk about on your end of town? Because you live like real far away from here, like a mile and a half, man. So
yeah. Well, you live down there by the center of town, and I'm more up in the outskirts.
Yeah.
Well, at least for right now.
You're closer to the you're closer to the foothills, man.
At least for today. One more development, and I'll be in the middle of town too.
Hey, that reminds us, man. I guess there was a city council meeting that I actually wanted to attend to tonight, but unfortunately, I want to do this podcast more than I want to do the city council meeting. I can always catch that on the video replay. I had a couple of things to say, but the next time they have a city council meeting, I'll be sitting in. They're going to be making an expansion. They got two proposals in to do some stuff in back of the Gilroy Gardens amusement park, and they're thinking about bringing in a chairlift or something like that to take people up to the top of the hill there and have them bike down and just all kinds of crazy things to really piss off the neighbors over there, man. They want to expand the amusement park. And,
they want to sell it to something like Paramount or something.
Wildwood or Wild Tours or something like that. I can't remember the name of it because it's so unimportant to me right now because I don't live over there.
Well, it's just another, it's another family business being consumed by a conglomerate corporate.
Yeah. I think the fact that I don't think I lived here when Gilroy bought Bonifante. Used to be what was it called?
Bonifante.
Yeah, Bonifante Gardens. I remember that. And anybody who doesn't live here in Gilroy doesn't know about Bonifante Gardens or Gilroy Gardens.
Well, if they've been around, if they've lived in Santa Clara for anywhere over the last 75 years, they've probably heard of it.
Right. And
maybe they don't know, but yeah,
we have a small little amusement park that's tucked in into the hillside, going up over the mountain to Santa Cruz or Watsonville, and cute little place. It's really expensive to get into and stuff like that. But I guess the city bought it, and now they're going to sell the rights to it or whoever to a conglomerate that's going to come in and make a great big amusement park out of it, water park and stuff. Right when they butted up a brand new residential units all the way up to the crest of it. So I mean, happy for those people that just paid $800,000-$900,000 for their home to be sitting next to an amusement park. I can't be more happier for them. So.
Well, depends on whether they have kids or not.
Yeah.
And what kind of kids you have?
Yeah, but we're here. Thank you guys for being here. This is the Weathered Soul podcast, and we're back. We're going to be on anchor.fm. Any place that's free, we're going to be on because that's the way we are right now. The funds are limited always, and one of these days we'll be open up not a GoFundMe, but you can support the Weathered Soul podcast somewhere down the road. Just haven't done it yet, but I got a couple of people that I would like to take a shout out to, and one of them is my friend John Odermatt, his friend Ben, who run Your Mouth Coffee. Run Your Mouth Coffee. Let me show you Run Your Mouth Coffee right here. I'm going to show you something here, right here. Let's see. See, Run Your Mouth Coffee right here. This is one of their flavors called Espresso Yourself. It's a nice espresso grind that you can buy. Also, you can get what they call a Speak Freely, which is another. This is a whole bean, and I bought this 2 pounds. I get this delivered to me once every month on an auto ship type thing. And I want to tell you something. If you guys are going out and you're buying Starbucks every day, so you're paying $5 a day, maybe $6 a day, anywhere from $3.50 to $6 a day, you're paying for a cup of coffee. Well, when you go out and you buy a custom coffee or what I want to call it is like, good coffee, you're going to pay the price. And these guys are Run Your Mouth Coffee. They open up their own coffee business. They roast the coffee beans per order. They do not do this on a bulk type thing. They get an order, they roast your beans, they pack them up, they send them out. And I got a special order for you guys that are watching the Weathered Soul podcast right now. And anybody who's out there that listen to the In the Pit of Your Stomach or Bruce for Liberty, if you use the promo code STOMACH, I can get you an extra 10% off of your order. And that's not all, okay? Because right now they're offering free shipping on all orders. And if you do an auto ship on 2 pounds of coffee, they're going to give you an extra 15% off. So that's, count that up. That's 25% off of one ship of your first shipment plus free shipping. I mean, you can't go wrong. And all you have to do is go to Run Your Mouth Coffee, and it's real simple. I mean, go to your Run Your Mouth Coffee, RYMcoffee.com, put your promo code in, stomach, and they'll know that you've been listening to the Weathered Soul podcast or In the Pit of Your Stomach or Bruce for Liberty, one of those podcasts, and you're going to get an excellent pot of coffee. I mean, that's what you're going to get. Tracy loves them. I mean, there's all kinds of coffees that you have here. You've got Speak Freely. You've got Rebellious Beans, which is a whiskey barrel aged coffee. It's really good. Espresso Yourself. They got a couple of other ones. They got a Mind Changer medium roast. Let me give you a shout on that one. That one's a single origin bean. And all I know about that is that it's just a one bean that they do, and they roast and then they grind up and they send it out to you. And believe me, you're looking at the prices there, and I know you're going like, holy smokes, that's a lot for coffee. But some of you guys go out there every day and you pay $4, $5, $6 for a cup of coffee. So why not give yourself a real good coffee bean and go buy yourself some Run Your Mouth coffee? And that's for my friend John, man. And I wish him the best of luck, because this is a great coffee place to go, man. You can get them, runyourmouthcoffee.com. And so we got the chat rooms are open, and you can come in, you can comment on anything that you want to. We are sponsored by Weathered Soul Liberty Network, which is you can go there to YouTube and type in WSLN, the Weathered Soul Liberty Network, and you can go in there and you can subscribe and find out every time that me and Dougie are doing one of these live streams. We can also go to our Facebook site, which is AKA the Weathered Soul. Just type AKA the Weathered Soul right there. It's going to take you to this website right here, and then you're going to ask to join, and I'll bring you in as long as you answer the questions correctly. Do not choose poorly. But
sorry.
Yeah, I love Indiana Jones, but anyway. Dougie, what's going on, man? What do you want to talk about tonight, man? Because I don't have anything that we were going to do. I was thinking about today when I went like, Dougie, let's do a podcast. Let's get the Weathered Soul podcast going on again. Let's be the two old guys that are sitting on the porch yelling at each other, telling everybody to get off of our lawn. Because one thing that you said to me when we were on the phone that really stuck in my mind is like, do you cringe every time you hear the president?
Yeah, it's starting to get better. I'm just waiting for the day when I hear somebody say the president, and I go, and then go, oh, that's right, it's over.
Well, it depends on what president you're talking about, because still, everybody can, Donald Trump still commands the airwaves, man, and I'm serious, man. These news sites are going wall to wall Trump. A lot of times, I mean, they just can't get enough of him, because there's actually no news without Trump. I mean, really. I mean,
Well, kind of. You think about it. Honestly, it's like, what else do they have to talk about? Pandemic. Cuomo.
I mean, nobody. Oh, jeez.
I mean, it's like geez, must be a slow news day.
Well, I tell you what, I've been cruising out the websites, and you know that I don't watch TV. So if I watch TV, it's wrestling, pro wrestling, or sports of some kind. And I'm glad the sports is back, man. Now, baseball's back. There's fans in the stands, and I'm loving every minute of it. But Dougie watches some TV, more TV than I do. He watches Mr. Bill Maher, and I think you guys catch Saturday Night Live every once in a while, and things like that. Yeah. I just like to cruise the website. So I cruise, CNN. I cruise the Fox News. I cruise MSNBC, and man, let me tell you, Fox News is going freaking nuts over this Cuomo thing, man. It's just like their first three stories, if nothing else, is about Cuomo and the COVID deaths, the perceived cover up, the accusations from all these women that are coming out of the woodwork.
Well, when you're watching Fox News, you're not watching the news.
Well, when you were watching CNN or MSNBC, you're not talking about the news either, because they don't call
themselves MSNBC News, right? they don't put news in their name anywhere, right?
They're kind of like WWE and calling themselves Sports Entertainment or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, even though news is might be somewhere in there. Yeah. In their description, but they don't say, hi, this is the news channel.
Right.
They say this is the, and it's pretty funny too, because someone else that we watch too is John Oliver on Sunday nights, and he does a really good show on HBO.
Yeah,
it's only a half hour long.
HBO.
Yeah, it's only a half hour long, and it's really good. Like last night, he was talking about Tucker Carlson and what an asshole he is, and he truly is an asshole, and he's just so backwards on so many things and so wrong,
What's proven? I gotta challenge you on this. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's unfactual about what he reports?
He's saying things that are lies. He's saying that Antifa raided the White House.
Sure, there was Antifa. There was Antifa in the White House. There was absolutely Antifa in the White House.
Well, we're not going to go there. I'll hang up now if you want to do that. Okay, seriously. I'll see you next week.
There was QAnon in the White House. There was Antifa in the White House. There was Black Lives Matter in the White House.
Sure,
there was. Documented fact that there was in the White House.
Sure, there were.
There's nothing.
Sure. How many Antifa people go to Trump rallies, Bruce? And then walk down the street with the rest of his supporters.
The same amount of people that go to the same amount of QAnon people and Trump supporters that go to Portland and Seattle. That's how many.
Sure.
That's how many. That's how many.
Right.
You can't tell me one thing a couple months ago about Portland and Seattle and then deny that they don't exist at the White House or at the thing. I mean, come on, man.
Where you're getting your information from, Bruce, is not a good place. Okay, maybe you should start watching more TV. because whoever you're listening to is sending you down a path. And it's got nothing good about it. We've been there before.
Don't watch OAN. Just don't watch OAN.
Yeah. You might be better off if you watch them instead of Fox or listen some of the things you listen to.
But this Cuomo thing. See, here I am. I'm sitting here. How long has it been since Biden's been president now? So it's been a month and a half now. It's been a month and a half. And since the election has been over, and since Biden has took office, we heard all these things about Trump. The Southern District of New York is preparing this. The IRS is preparing that. The Supreme Court unblocked his financial records so that people can get his tax returns and stuff like that. And you know what's happened? That's happened. Zero has happened. And even
did you think it was going to?
Did I think it was going to? No, absolutely not. And the same reason why I think that with this thing with Cuomo is absolutely nothing's going to happen with this Cuomo thing. I mean, I don't side with Cuomo, but some of the statements that he has made. Let's not talk about the COVID thing because that's a different issue. But these women that are coming out of the woodworks accusing him of this and that, the sexual improprieties and stuff like that. I mean, he was right. He says. He said they're looking for his resignation. All these people, even people on his side, are looking for his resignation. He goes like, I'm not going to resign because of an accusation. Right. Why would there's a thing called due process, and if they want, if they're going to do something with Cuomo, then start the due process. What are we looking at now? 2 weeks. 2 weeks they've been balls to the wall. At least Fox News has been balls to the walls for 2 weeks. Cuomo.
Well, and I'm sure everybody else spends at least a half an hour of every one of their shows on it too.
Yeah, because
that's all there is in the news. They have nothing else to talk. Whether they're pro or con, it's all they got to talk about.
Exactly. But I mean, you would think if it was me or you, oh my God, we'd be done in a day. We'd be done in 15 minutes.
At least they're not spending 2 weeks talking about how what was it? What did he say? Tucker say something about how like the fascist liberals are canceling Dr. Seuss.
No, Dr. Seuss. The people
I'm saying that's what he said. Don't say no because that's what he said.
No, I didn't say that. No, because I didn't even read that. So
you don't have to read it. You see it on TV.
I know the facts behind the Dr. Seuss.
But Tucker Carlson obviously doesn't, and he's putting it out all the time about how the mean people with their little sticks are bopping the little babies on the head because they don't like Dr. Seuss all of a sudden, and he's reading from a Dr. Seuss book that isn't even one of the ones that Dr. Seuss is pulling off the shelf.
Yeah, right? Dr. Seuss isn't pulling it off because Dr. Seuss has been dead for quite a long time.
Well, Dr. Seuss is not a person anymore; it's an entity.
Okay? Exactly, it's an entity, and the entity can do what they want. They decided to be woke themselves and pull these things off of their shelves and not publish them and not sell them.
So I guess that they must be the horrible liberal fascists that Tucker's talking about, right?
Well, I think there's liberal fascists, and I think there's conservative fascists all over the place. I mean, that's just the way it is.
I think you can have liberal fascists.
Huh?
I think that's a contradiction.
I think we could go.
You can have liberal idiots. You can have liberal idiots.
Oh, okay. Idiot fascists, whatever you want to call it, whatever. So,
well, no, they might be fooled, but then they're not really liberal. They just think they are, or they, because they think maybe that makes them special.
When you tell me that, you think I'm, I think I'm conservative, but you think I'm a way big liberal. So.
No. Aren't you a libertarian?
I am. Let's see. I was a card-carrying libertarian. Yes, I would say that. I would have to say yes. I was a card-carrying libertarian. That is fact. I have not.
But that has nothing to do. That has nothing to do with liberty.
Sure, it does. It just depends on how you define liberty. I mean, you know,
I think that's the problem with a lot of people. They hear libertarian and they think that that has something to do with liberty, but it really,
no, they think libertarian.
really not the same.
They think libertarian. They think anarchist. They think David Koresh. They think
No.
yeah, oh yeah.
Really, that's too
Dude,
bad. That's
yeah,
a bad rap.
I get shouted down a lot about, you know, why I'm a libertarian, or why do I side with the libertarian philosophy. Well, the libertarian philosophy, number one, is don't take my stuff and don't hurt people, and that's basically what it is. You can debate with Dave Smith, you can debate with Tom Woods, you can debate with all kinds of other people that
Well, the
have
party
all
has
kinds of
documentation that state what they stand for and what the party, you know, tenets are. I've sent them to you.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't mean that they argue. I mean,
it's basically they just don't want to follow rules.
You want to talk about a splintered party? We could talk.
They're really Republicans that just don't want to follow rules. That's really what they are.
No, there's plenty of libertarian socialists out there. Believe me. If you're in the circles that I am, there's plenty of libertarian socialists, and there's a whole lot of ANCAPs out there. And believe me, I don't agree with all of them.
They're not following the party tenets.
Sure, they are.
They're just calling themselves libertarians because they don't have anything else to call themselves.
Well, because there's nothing out there for us. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't fit in with the Democrats, and we don't fit in with the Republicans, and people just want to keep dropping bombs on innocent people across foreign lands that we don't belong in, and that's just the way it is. I mean, you know, I got one big, huge bitch about what's going on with Trump. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah, well,
man.
that doesn't make
every one of these presidents we've had in my lifetime have been dropping bombs on people, and we don't even belong there. I mean,
except Jimmy Carter.
When was the last war that we were in that we were legitimately had to have a war? I mean, really. I mean, other than World War II, which I guess we had to be in, every other war has just been a police action, and we don't belong there. Yeah. I mean, that's the way it is. And one of my friends.
Well, I think a lot of them are tests of technology. You know, what would you call them? Sparring matches to test the Eastern technology against Western technology. Yeah. However you want to call it, blue versus red, or
do you wear a slim, or do you wear a magnum? I mean, that's kind of what it is. I mean, we're measuring dicks over the freaking bombs that we're throwing. Yeah.
Well, no, it's a strategic thing, right?
Well, no, I know.
Let me kick your ass in this little tiny country so that I don't have to go blow up your country.
Yeah, but
you'll see that I can, and then you'll shut up.
The problem is that innocent people are dying here, dude. And let's not break ranks here, dude.
Innocent people died in every war.
It doesn't matter. That's regardless, dude. You got a president calling out that if a mask that we wear for COVID just saves one life, it's worth wearing a mask. Yet he sends freaking planes over to Syria to drop bombs on freaking Iraqis that blew up a freaking a warehouse and hurt a contractor. I mean, you know, big freaking deal. You know, they're not even supposed to be there. We're not even supposed to be there anyway, dude. Right? And I'm not saying this because
we have to be there.
But I'm not saying it's because of Biden. I'm saying this happened with Trump. This happened with Obama. Yeah. This happened with Bush. I mean,
well, this is the problem, Bruce. This is how life works. If we weren't there, you wouldn't have a nice car to drive. You wouldn't have that nice house to live in.
Dude.
You wouldn't have the job. It is not bullshit. It is not bullshit.
It is bullshit, dude, because you can live under a non-aggression principle. You could be a peaceful nation, man. There's plenty of peaceful nations that get along and have technology and have all these.
Yeah, do you know why? Because they're doing it underneath our shadow. That's why, because they don't have the balls to go do it themselves.
Like Afghanistan.
They're letting us do it and us pay for it.
Well, you think the Scandinavian nations are neutral because we're standing up for them, or what? I mean, that's what I would think.
Yes.
You know, when I first think about it, I think about what the Scandinavian nations are under our thumbs. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the thing that bothers me,
half the democratic countries in the world are underneath our umbrella.
Yeah,
or maybe even more than half, and they're underneath our umbrella because otherwise, if they stepped out of it, then someone like the Soviet Union or China would come in and take them over, and they would rather be under. They'd rather be under our umbrella.
Well, they got the South China Sea is just a mess right now, dude.
Well,
Taiwan and all over there, dude, are just I don't know what's going on over there. I don't really keep up with it. I keep up more with the Middle East and what's going on over there. And right now, I'm not going to say that Trump did a whole lot other than we had, whatever kind of quasi peace fucking agreements that every president says that they make, and then all of a sudden a new administration comes in, and all of a sudden
China pretty much does whatever it wants.
Thrown out the window. Oh yeah, China's has always done whatever they wanted. I think they've always gotten away with it.
They put a buoy out in the middle of the ocean, and they say that's our land. We got 20 miles around it. 200 miles around it.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I think that the Nixon administration go way back to the Nixon administration. I mean, the one thing that he did was he gathered the Soviets and everybody else around there. We had freaking, 200 countries freaking surrounding China, and they weren't doing crap, dude. And unfortunately, what happened with Nixon, and that was pretty much the end of all that kind of diplomacy, and it went down from there. And then big deal that Reagan pulled down the wall in East Germany, but from that we're still bombing people, man, left and right. And I just to me, I'm just me, Doug, I'm anti-war. I'm always going to be anti-war. And that's one of the reasons that's one of the reasons I'm an independent. And I'm not going to. I believe in libertarian values. I believe in don't hurt people and don't take their stuff. And I'm very anti-war, dude. Whenever I hear
still be listening, you'd be trying to do this podcast on a computer that runs on tubes. If it weren't for wars, dude. Sorry.
That doesn't mean it's right, man. It
doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean it's right. But that's how they made it. That was the driver.
But
that was the driver. And listen, dude. Listen. It's like so much of our economy is based on the military and military equipment. It's not just. I hear people bitching. Okay, the F-38 was a $38 billion failure. That they've been working on for 5 years. They spent trillions and trillions of dollars on this project, and it still doesn't work. That doesn't mean that it was a complete failure, because those trillions and trillions of dollars went to people's jobs, to materials, everything, the titanium that had to be mined, refined, smelted and forged, the tires that had to be made for the airplanes, the glass for the cockpits, all the people in all these little industries all over the place making all these components, plus the people building the planes, plus the companies that are employing all of these people. So it's not really truly a waste. Okay, where would those people be working if they weren't making that failed airplane?
Where all those people that I knew from Lockheed that were just thinking they were just making technology, and actually they were just dropping bombs on innocent people, dude. It's just like, I don't know. I don't see how you can sleep at night, dude. Not you. I'm just saying, I don't know how people can sleep at night, man, knowing that they're dropping bombs on innocent people, dude. I just I've heard testimonies from pilots who used to fly duties over in the Middle East, Vietnam, and stuff like that, and just not knowing exactly who is being bombed. I mean, we talk about the sadness.
Well, and that's why those wars failed.
But we talk about the sadness, right, dude. We talk about the sadness. We talk about the sadness. But we talk about the sadness of people not being able to see their loved ones right now when they're in the hospital, dying of COVID, stuff like that. And we don't think one thing, because my friend, a good friend of mine, I mean, honest, I love her to death. She's a great friend. I grew up with her, but she had no problem, putting up, the thing that said, if we just wore a mask, one person, it would save one person, and that would be enough. But she never thinks about the bombs that we're dropping over people that they don't even know.
what would you like her to do about those bombs?
I don't know. I don't know.
Then what would you like her to do about saving people from the virus? She can do something about that, and she is doing something about that.
Could do something. We could have done
about the silly bombs.
We could have done something about the bombs.
Just take her mask, throw it in the garbage, and jump off a fucking bridge.
No, dude, we could have done something about the bombs too. We keep freaking electing the same fucking idiots into Congress all the time who are fucking warmongers, dude. They're warmongers.
Why are they warmongers? Because
General Dynamics.
Because all these people who work for those companies are voting for them because they don't want to lose their jobs. That's how it works.
Because I want to educate you people right now. I want to educate all you people right now. And Dougie cannot deny this. When a politician is out there and he is doing sound bites and freaking little FaceTimes with everybody out there, he isn't talking to you. He's not talking to you. He's not talking to you. He's talking to those people in General Dynamics. He's talking to his donors. He's talking to all those people that are sending him big fucking cash. Because you know what? Those are the people that freaking make him who he is and how he got there. So
you also have the ones who have the backdoor deals too, where they're going to say to all the corporations, "Listen, I'm going to rail you guys really bad to get elected, but once I'm elected, I'll take care of you. Don't worry, just keep your money coming."
Crazy, that's so fucking dirty.
There's so many of them. I mean, you
believe me, I tried to put the PG label on this, but I'm sorry, dude. When I get all riled up about this crap,
What, were you just cussing?
Yeah,
I was talking over you.
But anyway, I'm supposed to be calm because what I've been doing lately, and I'm going to take you off of the line here. I'm just going to go on to single here. And I just want to tell you something that really has been, I kind of get riled up during the Weather Soul podcast, but let me tell you, man, I have been under a new probiotic, a new piece of the equipment that I've been using besides the triplex in my Plexus business. And if you don't know, I'm a silver ambassador for Plexus Worldwide. I deal in plant-based supplements and probiotics, and I got this new product that I've been using. It's called Vital Biome. Vital Biome is a additive to a probiotic I'm already taking called ProBio 5. And let me tell you, ProBio 5, the triplex system, has been keeping me healthy and free of my immune system is boosted up, my energy, my sugar cravings, my overall health has been so good. I have been a lifetime sufferer of acid reflux. I haven't had acid reflux since last April. I'm coming up on a year, and I haven't taken one Tums. I haven't taken one of the blue pills, the acid reducers and stuff like that. Haven't taken any of them because I'm on this situation where, number one, I'm taking care of my gut health. My gut is telling my brain to do the right things for my body. And let me tell you, this little pill right here, Vital Biome, is one of the things that's keeping me calm and collected. It's just a miracle that I'm on this stuff. I mean, because if John, who owns Run Your Mouth Coffee, hadn't have introduced me to Plexus, I wouldn't be where I am today. I'd still be right now probably popping Tums and all that bad stuff we got. But what this Vital Biome does is it reduces the feeling of stress and improves your mood. Let me tell you something. I'm not lying. I mean, it really does the trick. I mean, I'm a big time marijuana advocate, and I love, to sit back and have my smoke every once in a while. But let me tell you, for this little pill right here that I take once a day helps to reduce my stress and it improves my mood. I mean, there's things that used to tick me off that they don't tick me off anymore, man, because I'm just kind of going to go with it, and it's just chock full of 7 billion CFUs at the time of expiration, whenever this expires, because it's never going to expire on me because I'm taking it every day. It has 8 clinically researched strains. It's in a delayed release capsule. It's gluten-free, vegetarian, and non-GMO. And I've got a deal for you guys. Man, do I have a deal for you guys. If you will, just let me know. give me a shout out on this podcast. Send me a comment or something like that. Get on my Facebook page, Bruce McGee, or you can go and you can get a hold of me over on the Weathered Soul podcast page. Let me know. I can send you I'm going to send you a sample of Slim, and Slim is what I began with. And it's just a great, incredible product. It helps you with your hunger pangs, and it also kind of levels out your sugar, so you're not going to be craving that sugar like you do every day. I mean, I used to go buy a chocolate bowl in front of my boss's office, and I used to hammer that thing every day, and I don't anymore. So just get a hold of me, leave me a comment, say, Bruce, I want to try this stuff, and I'm going to be hammering this every time you see us here on the Weathered Soul podcast. And I just want you to do the same things that I do. I'm feeling great. I'm sleeping great. I have no more acid reflux. I'm losing weight because the hunger control aspects of this stuff. And you know what? My mood has been improved, and I've got my wife on it now, and her mood has improved. So happy wife, happy life. And Dougie knows that for sure too. So. But anyway, back to the show, because I'm not sure we're going an hour, but we're going to go as long as Dougie wants to go. And whenever he's looking down like that, I know he's looking up something to piss me off. So what do you got, Dougie?
Nothing.
Nothing, man. Nothing. I got nothing for you.
I got nothing, man.
Well, I'll tell you what was pissing me off this week, and you know exactly what was pissing me off this week, and I'm going to show you what pissed me off this week. This is what was giving me a hard time, man. Let me show you what was giving me a hard time. What everybody knows what this is, right? Oh, everybody knows what this is. We lose them all the time, right? We lose them all the time, and then we find out sometimes that they don't freaking work. Well, 2 weeks ago, when we did the podcast with Michael Gaither, if you guys were with us, I know a lot of you guys were with us because that was one of our most popular shows. And my microphone dropped out not but 5 minutes before the podcast went on, and I had to scramble and do my podcast actually off of my laptop computer. And for 2 weeks, I've been struggling with Microsoft Windows 10. And I hate Microsoft Windows 10. And luckily, I've got a good IT guy at work, and he had finally, I succumbed and started asking him what to do, and he gave me the steps to do it with it. And I found out that all my problems were this little freaking cord, man. I hate it.
At least for last week. Find something new this week.
Let me tell you, man. I spend a lot of money on my equipment, dude. I mean, I really do, and I take care of the equipment. But a lot of times, the equipment has to be moved around and stuff, and I just hate moving around equipment, man. It's just a pain in the ass, and yeah, I knew it was going to happen. I know, cables come and go. And this one came and it went, and it was bad. So anyway, so just a reminder, if you start getting USB problems on your computer and stuff like that things aren't working, then I would look at your cable first before I would look at the hardware that you're trying to install, because it happened to me, man. Don't let it happen to you.
Yeah, after years and years of being electronic technician, yeah. First thing you do is you check connections. Check connections, check cables, you yank on them, you jiggle them, you pull on things, you prod things, you heat them up, and then next thing you check are like solder joints.
Well, that would have to do on my music equipment, because I am a musician. And hey, by the way, just to let you know, the Weathered Souls, which is a band, is going to be back and rocking it out at Thousand Trails on August 28th of 2021. We are going to be doing a live show in front of live people, finally. And if you guys can come out and wear your mask if you want to, I don't care. I just want to be making music and having fun. And that's another thing that you can go over to the Weathered Soul Band's podcast page, or broadcast, or a Facebook page, and join in there. Just put in the Weathered Soul, and they'll
Is that where you can get the merchandise? the weathered soul T-shirt, hat,
we don't have any of that stuff yet.
Brush, the weathered soul cereal.
That's going to be a trademark soon, and yes, we're going to have all kinds of
merchandising.
Little bow ties and hair ties and guitar picks and all kinds of things. And
Weathered Soul, the flamethrower.
And of course, the Weathered Soul podcast is brought to you by First Note Productions LLC, which I'm happy to say that the state of California and the IRS says that I'm a viable business because they want my money every year to be able to do business. So they're going to let me stay in business. And hopefully this year, since they were starting to opening up a little bit more, the concert venue in the backyard of Casa de McGee will be back open for fundraising starting on Memorial Day weekend, where I will be having a special barbecue where the Weathered Souls will be doing a practice jam. Unfortunately, it's by private invitation only, and I'm not taking any invitations for that one, but hopefully we'll be opening it up after Memorial Day for more general public that wanted to come out and see some great concerts and contribute to some of the great charities that I like to support, like multiple sclerosis and the Alzheimer's group, and a couple more. I like to do St. Joseph's Family Center, just like Eric at the barn, and we're just going to open up. We're just going to do it. I've got a nice little venue in the backyard. It's enough to have nice social distance, and if you want to wear a mask, you wear a mask. You're not required, but you can come out and you can have a good time, and I'll fire up the grill and make some hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff like that. We'll have a good time, man. So something to look forward to all the time. So that's where I'm at, man. Where's your head at, dude?
Speaking of socializing, Saturday we went down to Watsonville to see Michael play.
Michael Gaither.
Yeah.
Past friend of ours and past guest on the show.
He's probably the most frequent guest we've had.
He was the most recent guest we had 2 weeks ago, man.
Too. You only want to come back the second time.
Personal friend of mine.
Anyway, it was fun, and so it wasn't too crowded. It was a nice setup. They had like a hot dog, like a little Airstream set up, for a lunch truck. They're selling hot dogs. You go, you order at the window, and they come bring it to your table. And tables were all, about 10, 12 feet apart, maybe a little closer for some of them. Groups up to probably about 6 was probably the biggest group we saw sitting at the same table. People when they're sitting at their tables, had their masks on and off, depending. Most of the time off, because you're either eating or drinking or something. You had a couple of glasses of wine and some chips. People were eating hot dogs and all that. But when they were up walking around and stuff, most people had their masks on. And Michael put on a great show. Yeah. He had Jim Lewin, right? Yeah, Jim Lewin. A friend of ours. He was at the barn 3-4 years ago. He's a guitar player, singer. So they did a bunch of covers and a bunch of Michael songs. And then he had a violin player that's part of his band, his new group, come in and play for 3 or 4 songs. It was really nice. We were there, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours and split. Now he's playing on the 21st at Satori. We're thinking about going there too. So anybody want to keep Saturday in mind? I'm not sure if you have to be it's a Sunday. I'm not sure if you have to be a member or not, but I think
you don't have to be a member right now. When they were doing the pre-COVID stuff, and when they opened up last summer, they were letting in people. They were letting in members first, and then basically it's a come as you are basis. So so looking forward to things starting to open up, starting to loosen up. The vaccinations are going forward. Me and you are not even on the radar yet, but
well, I'm going to get a note from my doctor. I had doctor appointment today with my neurologist, and he said I should talk to my general doctor and tell him, if my CLL and my adrenal gland being removed, I should be right there. And that's another thing too. Do you remember way back, almost a year ago, We were shut down, and then
8
everybody was home
days,
for about
8 days from now. 8 days from now is the anniversary of the shutdown.
Everybody was home for like 2 months. I remember I said, wasn't it great having 60 Sundays in a row, blah blah blah, and then the energy sector became essential, right? People got to get their solar power, people got to get their batteries, people got to get their electrical upgrades, all that stuff, right? So they said that we were essential. We got to go back. We had to go back to work. Go back to work or don't get unemployment. Your choice, whatever you want, right? So how come I haven't got my vaccine yet if I'm an essential worker?
I don't know. I've been an essential worker since day
exactly.
one.
Exactly.
But, I'm one of those ones that I'll get my vaccine when the vaccine I think it's just kind of bullshit.
Is that bullshit? Yeah,
it's kind
of
bullshit because,
you're essential. Get back to work or lose your unemployment. Now you're not that essential. We got to give these other people that are more essential first.
I saw a couple of our way younger friends than us. I mean, decades younger friends than us that just got their shots. I won't mention any names, but they're personal friends of ours. So me and you, so we know who they and they got their shot. So I mean, it's just kind of like
how did they get their shots? Being so young.
They happen to be in the industry that I guess had to have a shot, so that's where they were at, and
okay, well, if that's the way that works,
well, maybe it's
and
because
I know some people that got their shots by knowing people, and they admit it openly. It was like, I got friends in the healthcare industry, and they called me up and said, we're going to have a couple extra doses at the end of the day. Get your ass down here. And then once they got their first dose, they're automatically signed up for the second, right?
Well, maybe it's not because you're not a baby boomer. And maybe it's because you're not a Generation X. Maybe, in case you missed it, which is our new little subject of the show, our new little segment of the show called In Case You Missed It, maybe you're Generation Jones. Before Generation X came, Generation Jones, this micro generation between baby boomers and Generation X, was born during the late 50s and early 60s. The origin of the term Generation Jones comes from, if not for Jonathan Pontel, there might not be a Generation Jones, a cultural historian and political consultant. Pontel coined the term around 1999. This was preceded by an extensive research which he concluded that a microgeneration existed between the boomers and the Xers. Pontel, who was born in 1960s, had a primary thesis. While the 1960s may have impacted him and his contemporaries, they were not shaped by historic events that shaped baby boomers, in particular Vietnam, Woodstock, hippie culture, and in other words, Gen Jones was wide-eyed in the 60s and not tie-dyed.
I was a baby in the 60s, so...
Yeah, same here. I was a baby in the 60s too, and I came across that. We have a new segment here called "In Case You Missed It," and I just wanted to bring up some stuff that maybe you haven't heard about. And it's very interesting that this guy came out with this survey and he got a survey of 650 people and decided that upon the name Generation Jones to identify the cohort. It was specifically inspired by the term Jonesing, which in the offshoot to keeping up with the Joneses essentially means craving for the yearning and ultimately honors of the desires of people that were born in the late 50s and early 60s who craved a better life. And after all, they came of age and entered adulthood during the mass unemployment of the 70s and the 80s. So, and I always thought, in my life that I didn't really identify with the baby boomers. I mean, you got what they talk about, a ton of baby boomers right now that are becoming on retirement ages, and these people, like my sister and her husband, my pop, Bill, those guys, grew up, with Woodstock. I mean, with the Summer of Love, with well,
at least they were teenagers by that time.
They were teenagers
where we were just little squirts.
Yeah, they saw the Beatles come into fruition and the Rolling Stones, and they saw Kennedy get shot. And
we kind of remember hearing them talk about it.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
we're not quite Generation Xers because we weren't quite as,
No,
we
not
weren't
that young.
there.
Not
We
that
weren't that
young.
young.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm a Jones.
You know what? Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
the
because no,
generation.
seriously, it's kind of weird because I can see that even like looking back like through high school and stuff. It was like, like the grade above us, the grade right above us,
Yeah.
were like real hippies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And the grade right below us were ultra pussies. I don't know how else to put it. That's when I want a trophy for losing shit started.
You're right. You are right. We are the last of the he guys, man. We're the he guys. But we hope that you enjoyed that segment. In case you missed it, we're going to come back with that every week. And let me tell you, if you guys just, if you're watching on the YouTube, hit that like button, hit that share button, and subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to WSLN, the Weathered Soul Liberty Network. We're not going to talk about freedom and liberty all the time, but freedom and liberty is a lot of what we deal with, and what me and Dougie like to think of having personal responsibility and just going forward with our life. But really, community is unity, and what we want to do is we want to spread our cheer around, whether we're bitching about you guys being on our lawns, or whether we want you to be a part of our lives. We want you to be a part of our community, and the only way we can do that is to bring unity within all of us. Because when me and Dougie have these discussions, and I'm calling him full of shit, and he's calling me that I'm a liar or whatever,
Idiot.
Whatever I am.
Ultramaroon.
We can come out of this and we're still friends, and we're still huggers, and we're still, we're still partying together, and all that. And that's what part of it is. And that's what drives this show, what drives the people around us. And a lot of us right now are so divided right now. And I just want to let you guys know that we think about you all the time. We're going to try to bring you our insight on what we think is going on in this world, and just from the side of our little community, what's going on here in Gilroy, because what's going on here in Gilroy is going on all over the world, and we just want to share our lives with you on a weekly basis.
Yeah, to me, Bruce, my biggest fear or biggest fear, I don't know, my biggest hang up about like freedom and liberty is really like corporate slavery, corporate oppression. I really think that's more than the government, because of course the government's owned by the corporations. It's these big corporations that are really like looking at us citizens of this country as like slave labor, or as a commodity more than an asset.
We've been that way for a long time, buddy.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Time for us to freaking turn around and freaking turn the screws around on them. And how are we going to get out of it? I don't know. We're pretty freaking deep into it, man. I mean, we still get the likes of the Jeff Bezoses and the Elon Musks and the Bill Gates and all these mega rich people in the world that just can go on to Congress, and they enjoy. You're saying, here we got high gas prices again. How long is it going to be before they bring those people back up to Congress and start talking to them again and shaking their finger at them? You should be, pulling up gas prices at this time because of right? And then as soon as that's over, they're in the back room making deals to make sure that me and you can't start a gas station. Me and you can't refine our own oil. Me and you can't do that. Setting up artificial barriers so they can succeed even more. And that's the problem. That's what's happening, is that government has got to get out of the way of the free market, and the free market will prevail, but you have to be strong. I mean, me and you have to be strong. We can't be doing the Amazon thing if we don't want mom and dad to go out of business. We can't be doing we can't be doing a lot of things that we do. We got to be helping out the little guy. But the problem is that we're not doing that, and it hurts us all. So until we start,
it's already to the point where it's past that. Like You
It
know,
is past. Oh yeah, it is past.
all the mom and pop hardware stores are gone. You know, maybe
Yep.
you've got an Ace or a True Value left here and there.
Fry's is gone, dude.
Fry's is gone.
Fry's gone.
Where are you going to go get your FM transmitter when you want to start your pirate radio station now?
Fry's is gone, dude. And believe me, you can't find much of that shit on Amazon, dude.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Where are you going to go get a LS7429 chip or whatever? You know, for your timer.
I've got it in, and you know her. She's my daughter. Prism Electronics.
Talking about new stuff, not used. No,
they
but
got
seriously.
They got a lot of weird stuff too. But yeah, even you remember a place called Weird Stuff down in Sunnyvale, man. You know, the precursor to Fry's. And geez, dude, it's just amazing the things that are just going away and going away and going away.
You know, in the 80s, you could go to the local, you know, ham radio store or Radio Shack or whatever, and you know, buy the parts you need to like descramble cable TV so you can get free HBO, right? I mean, you could go down to the store and buy that stuff. Now you can probably do it on an app. You can probably write an app on your phone for it now.
Instead of trying to look through the lines and going through the snow to watch the porn, right? You know.
Yeah. You get that little box. You can straighten that out.
But man, I'm telling you, you know, right now, I mean, you said it right, that we are kind of marching towards that point of no return. I think we have a point of no return here, and it's going to take a lot of getting back to our bare bones. And that's why it's important to you know, run your mouth coffee. It's important to shop these guys. It's important to shop people like me, Plexus, you know, because I'm a Plexus distributor. It's important to keep these people in business, because without that kind of business, you know, you're at the slave of Amazon and Walmart and all the big conglomerates, man. So, you know, we're all guilty of it. We all have to shop it because sometimes it's the only option that we have. But at all possible costs, get out there and support that small business. Support that person that's selling apples on the corner or the potato chips or whatever it is. I try to stop by there and get that stuff all the time, just so I can keep small business in line, dude, because that's our bread and butter, man. Those people are spending money in our community, man. Nobody spent, you know, you go to Costco, you go to Amazon, nobody's spending that money in our community, dude. Nobody's spending that money in our community. You know, Amazon takes in all these stores and they're making bank off of all these stores, dude. And it's just terrible. It's just a terrible thing. But hey, we got to go, man.
It's getting to be that time, huh? A couple of minutes.
Man, we're bucking up on an hour, and man, I really enjoy my time, man. It's been so long. It hasn't been a long time since I've seen Dougie, but I just don't see Dougie enough to give him a hug and a high five and stuff like that. And you know, always miss his wife. But they're good friends of ours. That we intermingle with each other and stuff like that. But it's never enough. And but one of these times that
hopefully that the corner's coming soon. You know, the CDC is saying people that are vaccinated can actually touch each other. You know?
Well, sweet.
Yeah. And if
months, dude.
Yeah, well, you know what they say, dude. You pays your dime, you takes your chances.
Yeah, you take.
Okay,
that's right.
so,
that's right. And I take my chances all the time because that's the way that I feel like living, and Dougie feels like the way that he wants to live. But anyway, this is where I gush all over Doug because I believe that Dougie is the star of the show. But I love Dougie, man, and I thank you, man, for being my co-host and being here every week. And if you guys share this with a friend, take us over to iTunes or wherever you can give us a comment, give us a 5-star rating, give us a comment out there, do something. Just keep watching the show, keep listening to the show. We appreciate it all the time, and we're back, and we're going to be back next week. And you know, we're going to come with a new show, whether it be a guest or whether it just be the regular podcast of me and Dougie just sitting here yelling at you, saying, "Get the hell off of our grass." So, goodbye. Good night. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Have a